It's also been reported to NPA head Shamila Batoy. For a response, we're joined by Prasa spokesperson Bongisizwe Mpondo. Good morning to you. So, what is your response to these claims against you?
Look, I think the claims are unfortunate. Let me tell you what the truth is. Prasa they are correct in one respect, in that Prasa is going through a serious cash flow crunch, which is making it difficult for us to pay suppliers and other people. Now, here's the situation. We all know that, the system has been vandalized. In fact, I have invited one of your journalists to come with us on Wednesday to show them the extent of the vandalism that has taken place within our system, which means in areas where trains we used to run, trains can't run anymore. That simply means that you lose your revenue, which means you're not getting as much money as you need to get in order for you to be able to pay everybody, including your employees. Now, here's the situation. If you take one employee, let's say the employee, for argument's sake, earns 10,000 rands per month. We don't pay all the 10,000 rands into their account. Some of the money goes to SARS, some of the money goes to the pension fund, some of the money goes to medical aid, and then only a portion of that salary goes into the employee's account. Now, when you do not collect as much revenue as you should, which means in the case of someone who earns 10,000 rands, we only have 8,000 rands. We have decided as Prasa that we will pay the net payment, or the money after deductions, all of it into the employee's account. We will pay medical aid so that when the employee is not well, they can be able to get treatment. But we then talk to SARS, we then talk to the pension fund administrator to say, we are not in a position to pay you now, but we will pay you once we are able to do so.
So they are correct. Funds are being withheld.
No. But, Jane, that's a point I'm making. You can't withhold funds you do not have. So you can't withhold funds you do not have. You can't get interest on funds you do not have. Here we have a situation of Prasa not having enough money to pay, not having money and withholding it. They are misleading you in that respect.
Okay, so, I mean, they say that the money is there, that in fact, as we've mentioned, you're withholding it. Not only are you withholding it, but you're benefiting from the interest on the lump sum, which must be allocated to them, not to Prasa.
I've just addressed that point to say you can't earn interest on money you do not have. You can't withhold money you do not have. I've made an example here of, say, an employee that earns 10,000 rands and we only have 8,000 rands to pay that employee. We pay the money after deductions and then talk to SARS and then talk to the pension fund administrator to say, we are not in a position to pay right now. And I think there's an important point also that I need to make, that Prasa is not generating any revenue at this time due to the lockdown, and it's not going to generate enough revenue into the foreseeable future. And one of the things that we could be considering is laying off workers, and we don't want to do that because we don't want to add to the numbers of the unemployed during this time. Instead, the administrator, Mr. Bongisizwe Mpondo, in the next few days is going to make an announcement as to how we are going to be injecting some of the capital expenditure program, capital expenditure budget that we have into the economy so that we can create jobs, build infrastructure so that we can have a Prasa that works for everyone. I understand that UNTU has to organize, but they cannot organize on the basis of fear-mongering. There is no money that is being withheld here, and certainly there are no criminal charges. There is no prima facie case for any criminal charges, for anybody even to suggest that.
Okay, well, as you said, I mean, because of sort of nefarious activities, the money that should be there isn't there. So there is some sort of criminal activity that has led to this, lots of other extenuating circumstances. But you can't blame them for being frightened. I mean, this is their money. It's not going into their accounts, not the amount that they expected at a time when people really need it. So what are the communications that are being had with the people who work there?
Look, our employees know exactly the situation, what is going on. And this, by the way, it affects only a portion of the employees that are with Prasa Rail. Prasa Rail gets income from fair revenue, people paying in trains. Prasa Rail gets some of its revenue from government subsidy. So the government subsidy on its own is not enough right now to cover salaries if we are not collecting any revenue. We are under lockdown like everybody else. Our trains are not running. We're not getting money out of those trains. So we cannot then be able to be expected to have money that we don't have and to pay. What we do prioritize in the interest of our employees that their net payments must be paid. medical aid must be paid. The other contributions like to SARS, like to the pension fund, we negotiate with those entities, and they understand exactly what is happening, and we are on same level with them.
All right, these formal complaints have also been made to Pravin Gordhan, Fikile Mbalula. Have you had any response from them?
No, we haven't had any other, and I think it's a pity that UNTU is wasting the resources and the time of the police. They're wasting the resources of the NPA. Well, politicians will handle what needs to be handled. But during this time of COVID-19, I don't think that really we should be spreading this fear-mongering, causing unnecessary panic amongst employees. We would want to take this opportunity to assure them that at all material times we act in the best interest of Prasa, we act in the best interest of our employees, we act in the best interest of our commuters. Prasa is everybody's business. We need this business to continue to succeed so that it can contribute to the economy. The economy cannot survive without Prasa, because most of the people, poor people, rely on Prasa for affordable transport. They can't afford all other modes of transport. We are working with the Department of Transport, working with the National Treasury to ensure that at all times Prasa is able to meet its commitments. But due to the lockdown and the vandalization of our system and therefore a lack of collection of revenue, we are going through a cash flow crisis. We talk about it all the time. I wrote an op-ed piece in City Press talking about this, and I've said exactly what is it that we're doing about it.
All right, Bongisizwe Mpondo, good to talk to you. Thank you.